Ahoy there, sailor boys, it's your good friend Captain Andy. Welcome aboard my boat. Now, the last video I did, just to kind of test the waters, to see how people would respond. Response has been somewhat positive, I like that. People want to see a bit more. This time with commentary, which is why I'm talking over it this time. I've got a few things to say about the last video though. Bit of criticism, complete missed opportunity. I should have wrote Andy on Woody's foot, which I'm doing right now in Photoshop. As you can see, I colour in the bottom of the foot, and I write in very clear letters the word Andy, exactly how it appears in Toy Story. As you can tell, it looks really good on the bottom of Woody's foot. Now I'm doing a quick recap on the last episode and the actual modelling I did. First thing I did was just make a sphere and just make it into a vague Woody shaped head face around this beautiful picture of Woody the cowboy from the movie, of course. I make a shape and I just kind of cut out eye holes and nose holes and mouth holes. Not really the way you should be doing it, but it's the way I do it. Again, at this stage I'm just kind of trying to make a rough shape, extrude out a little nose and kind of point it out a bit, give it a bit of a curve there. This point here, I'm kind of working on the mouth, making sort of extruding lips out and sort of trying to get a functional shape. I'm bearing in mind the fact that it's gonna have to deform later. It's gonna have to sort of move and things like that. So I'm trying to put in a few polygons here. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just sort of messing about with the head. I cut a bit off and I restitched it. And yeah, I'm just kind of tweaking it really at this point. Just kind of trying to make a rough shape. There goes the eye inside the eye socket. Kind of morph it into the eye socket so you can't see too much. And yeah, now split the head and eye. Just kind of reattach it together, weld it together, and to make it symmetrical. We're doing the mouth and the lips. And back down to there. And again, it's just a matter of tweaking things. At this point, I point out the chin a bit more. So give it a bit more of a pointy chin. And that's pretty much the head done. Okay, next thing I do is I just kind of make like a little neck hole, bring out that, as a neck, fuck that up. Then I made the body, this little box. Yeah, I'm trying to make him look all boxy, because I'm lazy. I extrude out the arm, cut that, subdivide it, those are his legs. Again, make a few more polygons, just because it's going to have to move later. One thing I'm actually doing is I'm making it slightly bigger than I want to. If you notice, that biceps are huge, and that's because I'm going to smooth it out later, which actually makes it a bit smaller. Cowboy boots, made some boots. Now I got a bit weird and just experimentally. I wanted to make it out of a Taurus. It's not normally how I do it, but it actually worked out kind of better than I thought it would, so I decided to keep it. Next thing I do is really weird. I get a teapot, remove everything but one polygon, and I'm making the spurs here. I cut out a little circle shape out of that, move that, one's a star shape, boom, instant spurs. Don't know why I did it with a teapot, I'm just being weird today. Move the legs into place. Now, they don't call him Woody for nothing. He's packing a big bulge, so making that into like a nice little bulge shape. And yeah, then you just stick the head on, and then cut in half, restitch for symmetry. Again, it's all this trick in the book, really easy to do. You just cut it in half and boom, you don't have to model it twice. And yeah, that's just about it for the body. Now, next thing I move on to next is morph targets, which is actually how I do a lot of the lip syncing now. Another thing I did was I redid the arms. Initially he was wearing sleeves, but I decided he was going to be topless at this point, so I kind of just redid those, so there isn't the sleeve like there was before. Now for this bit here I'm doing morph targets, so what I do is I make several copies and I just make everyone slightly different. So what I'm doing here is I'm making like an open mouth. So make a copy, make like an open mouth. It's just a matter of moving vertices around and just making little adjustments, and as you can see when I switch between them there, it kind of makes an open closed mouth type thing, and this is the closed mouth, so it goes open, close. That's pretty funny when it goes really fast. Now for the blinking, I close the eyelids and I also kind of squash the eyeball a bit. And I find when you watch this in the final animation, it actually looks pretty good. Gives it kind of a cartoony look, which I quite like. So yeah, a bit of squashed eye there, and yeah, so fast motion, very fast blinking. And also another thing you can do is beyond open close, you can make like different mouth shapes. I normally just use like an U mouth and an E mouth, and I combine those to make like an A mouth sometimes. I find that works quite well. But you can do a lot more if you want to, get really technical. Now this is the E mouth I made, which I'm probably not actually going to use, just because it looks really weird. I might redo this later if I really want an E mouth. Again, bit of morph tag. You can just add stuff later. Now this bit, I'm trying to turn this frown upside down. It took quite a bit of movement, because he's a very happy fellow. Yeah, disgusted face there. When you combine them as well, it looks really weird. Angry eyes. He's going to be angry in one bit, I've decided. So he's going to have very angry eyes. Just that pissed off look. And when you sort of combine them, and you can get quite a few expressions out of just a few little morph targets. I find it looks really good. Oh, this bit. Yeah, again, they don't call him Woody for nothing. So there's a little boner one there. Moving on, we're now on to texturing now. Now, this is UV unwrapping, where basically you take all the polygons and you put them into this thing, and it makes like a texture that you can then draw over it in crayons if you want. Now, normally it would take... you'd have to like spend ages getting all the polygons like sort of correct and everything, and sort of in a line. I'll show it in a bit with like a little checkerboard thing. You're supposed to get all the squares correct. But for this, I'm not really doing that much texturing. I'm just going to put like just block colours on him. So, if I can... What I do is I choose everything that's blue, and then I just stick that in one corner. Like, there we go, paint that blue. That's the lazy way. That's the way I do it. Obviously, if I was doing more texturing, I'd have to spend like ages just fiddling. This whole bit is just really fiddly. Not that interesting to talk over, but yeah, I may actually do a proper tutorial series, because there's a lot to cover with these bits that I just can't really do in 30 seconds. But yeah, what I may do is the weird thing is, even like cheap shitty animation like this still takes hours if you're doing it all from scratch. I mean, really, a lot of the comments, a lot of people think I use like Source Build Maker and things, and I really don't. It's all just done from scratch, and it still takes hours. And it'll take even longer if I was doing it properly. Now, we'll move on to the actual texturing. So say this is an image, and I'll stick it in Photoshop. And yeah, I'm literally just taking colours from a Woody model and just drawing over it. For the eye, I'm just drawing over the eye, doing like a rough thing. I like to... Well, sometimes I like to copy textures, but for this one I'm just drawing. Just doing a little thing, 2 pupils. And that's about it, really. That's all I'm doing. So the rest of it's just colours. Blue jeans, brown boots, brown hair, brown everything. That's fine. And yeah, that looks okay. Whatever, it'll do. Now, because he's topless, he needs some nice woody nipples. So do that. Give him a bit of chest hair there. Yeah. I tried to get... I was going to give him a 6-pack, but no. I just give him like ribs in the end. And yeah, just going over things, doing it nice bushy chest hair. It should go down to a happy trail, but I never didn't do that. He also has a badge because he's a sheriff. It's his sheriff badge. Again, it's just tattooed onto his body like all sheriff badges are, so it's just there. Yeah, sheriff badge. Draw over it again so it says sheriff. That's about it for texturing. Now, in a minute, we're going to move on to rigging. Now, basically, all I do is I stick these like gun things, and then I just map it to like the like the polygons using a skin modifier in Max, and that's as far as I go really. and stick what's called like an IK modifier to the feet, so he can walk about. But other than that, I mean, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to like then make all these weird different controllers to make it like easier. But I'm lazy and I haven't figured out how to do that. I probably should. That would really help. But yeah, this is basically all I do. So just little boring things. Again, if I did a tutorial, I could like explain everything in a bit more detail, just on like what everything is, how I do it, like different techniques as well on what you can and can't do. I give him a hat as well, and that's about it. That's Woody. Now welcome to the feature presentation. What I'm going to do here is I'm basically going to do like a lip sync / animation test for Woody. I do this with most of the models that I make, and it's just to get an idea of what morph targets I'm going to need, does the like all the bones deform right and everything, and do I need to make any changes. Now I thought it'd be perfect to do a line from an early Toy Story animation test. Just to let everything kind of come full circle. In fact, I'm going to play the clip right now to give you an idea.
Hi, pal, what you doing?
I'm Tempest from Morph.
Yeah, what's his butt? Say, you weren't thinking of flying, were you?
Well,
You know Andy loves toys that can fly.
really? Well then, to infinity and beyond.
You know, Andy loves toys that he can find.
I love that scene so much. I'm actually just going to do the last line, the bit where it says, you know, Andy likes toys he can find. This is a bit I animated earlier, but I'm just deleting all the frames there. Because we're going to make a new animation. That's right. So what I'm doing here is I'm importing all the audio in, so I can basically lip sync it. Now, I don't know, it's probably not the way most people do it, but I do all the lip syncing first, just to get it out of the way, and then I like do any movements and like walking or whatever. So yeah, at this point I'm just for every like open mouth bit, I'm adding an open mouth. For every closed mouth bit, I'm adding a closed mouth in the little timeline thing at the bottom. I'm creating like little frames so it can do up and down. I thought I'd cut that bit out. Oh, you know, I know what horrible things to listen to. Yeah, just getting the timing right. Up and down, up and down. Again, I cut the audio out of this whole bit because it's just very repetitive and very fast paced. Just up and down mouths. And just him saying the line over and over again. It sounds kind of cool, but it's, again, just it gets annoying after a while. So I'm muted the audio, I'm talking over it for some reason. Yeah, now we've got all the open mouths. Because I made like the original Woody model, his mouth sort of half open, I had to add like a closed mouth target. So I'm adding the closed mouths things in as well. Again, it's just a bit more lip syncing I have to do. But it looks good. It looks good when you see it. Now I'm adding like different mouth shapes, so like ooh mouths and ooh mouths and e mouths. Buzz looks really weird in the actual program for some reason. He's got like parts of his face don't render. It looks fine in the final render when you like see it all rendered out, which you'll see at the end. I'll have the finished product at the end of this video. But yeah, it just looks really weird. Kind of funny. Kind of horrified. I also add in blinks. So he's got like the mouth movements and I just time blinks in as well. Now we'll move on to actually moving the skeleton bit as well, I think. Oh yeah, I made him angry. Give him angry eyes. Might as well use it. I mean, I made the morph target for it, so... again, I can explain things more in more depth in a future tutorial. This is just getting a basic idea of like what I do. And yeah, and then right at the end is weird pancake shaped erection sprouts from his jeans, like most toy cowboys. And yeah, just Buzz kind of turns his head, I've decided, when he starts talking. So I moved the neck and the body. So when you play that out, it kind of animates, it kind of moves. This is basically, I'll just do the animation. I'll just kind of move the head here and there, decide does it look right. If it doesn't, I go back, I redo it. General rule of thumb, looks a bit retarded, but whenever they talk, I just move the head. I mean, it's a cheap way of doing it, but I think, it makes them look like they're talking, so that's good. And, Andy likes toys that you can find, so gun to the head, that's what I was thinking. Clever. Edgy. Very edgy. The gun is initially in Buzz's rectum, obviously. Which is where you keep toy guns inside other toys. Just rambling now. This video, like again, this is just an animation test, but the actual final video is gonna be like a collaboration between me and a few others, and we're just gonna do like sort of like our own bits. Like it's gonna be different Buzz models, different Woody models. I'm not gonna say too much because I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it's just gonna be a big fucking mess, which is the way I like it. But yeah, the actual animated bit is pretty much done here, to the point that I like it. So next stage is like I'll add the camera in, and then we'll light it and make it into a little scene. Give it a bit of razzmatazz. That's the way I like it. Yeah, I'm just fiddling about with the gun, getting like the movements right, and I'll watch it back a few times. And yep, like I said, here's the camera. Camera's going in, kind of getting it all in frame. Again, it's all just, most of this is just trial and error, just messing about. Like field of view, things like that, in framing. Again, I have no idea. I just play with things. Yeah, and then the camera cuts to Woody's member towards the end. His big cowboy, big misshapen cowboy cock. That's nice. So that's the camera work done. Now we're going to import it into an actual kind of scene that I've made. Now you might recognise this from Floppy the Hammerhead. This is the little alley scene that I made. And that is of course 67-P Churyumov Gerasimenko, which is just there for a bit of variety. I made it pink and glossy. That's nice. Ooh, there's a lot of polygons there. I think it added a good 20 minutes to the rendering time, did just having that in there, but it is worth it. That is worth it. So yeah, I did a few lights. I think there's lights already in the scene, and that's about it, really. Again, Buzz's model really screws up, so I did like a different smoothing thing. Different smoothing modifier, because the Turbo Smooth wasn't working. Turbo Smooth's awesome, it just has loads of polygons. And yeah, I'm going to save it just as JPEGs, then I'll put it all together at the end. We're looking at about, I think, an hour and 3 minutes, so I'm going to stop the recording now, and we're going to see what it looks like at the end.
You know, Andy loves toys that he can find.